Hello and welcome back to Fictional Latitude. I'm Deborah, I hope you're well. This is my April reading wrap-up. Now, April's been a bit of a weird month, to be quite honest. I don't know what the heck happened, but it seemed to go by very quickly. Me achieving not a lot, and and the reading also not being particularly brilliant. There we go. Such is life. Can't be all roses, can it? So let's start with, I've got, how many? Five books. So I'm going to start with one of my do not finishes. Did not finish. Will finish? Maybe. Well, let's just shut up and get on with it. So it's Notes from an Exhibition by Patrick Gale. Now I decided, this had been on my TBR for ages, and I decided to read it having read A Place Called Winter by Gale earlier this year. So plucked it from the TBR, started it, and I've got to page 167, and I am seriously, well, before I started planning this video, because yeah, they are planned, I know, I thought, no, this is absolutely a do not finish, give it away, I'm never going to get on with it. But then I read the back again, and I thought, maybe I will, because I have a horrible feeling that what has happened is that I've stopped at the bit where it starts to get interesting, which should be typical of me, quite frankly. And what made me think that I will continue with this is what I read on the back. So it says, gifted artist Rachel Kelly is a whirlwind of creative highs and anguished, crippling lows. She's also something of an enigma to her husband and 4 children. So when she's found dead in her Penzance studio, leaving behind some extraordinary new paintings, there's a painful need for answers. Her Quaker husband appeals for information on the internet. The fragments of a shattered life slowly come to light, and it becomes clear that Bohemian Rachel has left her children not only a gift for art, but also her haunting demons. And I thought, because I've got to her death, we've gone past her funeral, been introduced to 3 of the children, because one of them doesn't have anything to do with the family really anymore. And kind of, I was like, 167 pages, and what have I got? I know that she was married and had 4 kids and was an artist. And you know me, I like a bit of pace to I like things to happen. So, yeah, I was ready to give it up. And then I just thought, okay, the demons, what are those demons? I need to find out what those demons are. So now, this little book is going back by the side of the bed, and after I finish my current read, Pompeii, and I'm going to give it another go, and hopefully it will pick up from here. Because, as I say, it's really nicely written, and each chapter starts with a little bit which come notes from an exhibition. So it will talk about one of her trees, that's because this one's called, but it will talk about one of her works, what it shows, why, something about her work. Notes from an exhibition. And I was thinking, I need something more. And I think, which is also a worry because my TBR's got quite a few of these in it, it's about family dynamics and family sagas. I'm not that interested in people unless they die. Which leads me to, yay, Agatha Christie, The Hollow. I've mentioned some of my I've mentioned how much I love Agatha Christie in a particular video, which I will link below. But I decided to have a nice, easy, quick read when I picked this up at the second-hand bookshop. I thought, go for it. It's a 3-hour read, whatever it is. And it's great. And this one isn't The Hollow. isn't so, I don't like this cover, by the way. It isn't so much of a who done it as more of a case of the psychology of why this happened, which I do like. But it moves along. This one's a Poirot mystery, and if you are not much of a Christie fan or don't watch any of the TV series, then you might not know anything about it. But basically, they go down, the family all get together. It's one of those weekend gets-together down at their relative's house in the country. And John Christo is found dead by the pool. His wife is stood over the body holding a gun. You'd think that'd be it, wouldn't you? But anyway, Agatha Christie packs so much into these little volumes. Really does. And I just love them. Excuse me. That wasn't an emotional thing. That was just a frog in the throat. But yes, The Hollow. Brilliant. Nice little read. And as I say, it's more about the psychology of it all. And then I also read another Agatha Christie. Yay! A Miss Marple one this time, The Body in the Library. And this is another great read. As I say, Miss Marple doesn't turn up. Well, no, that's wrong, isn't it? Miss Marple mysteries don't often feature a lot of Miss Marple in them, bizarrely. Like at Bertram's Hotel, she's barely in it. But this one, she's actually in it all the way through. So that's quite rare, actually, for a Marple mystery. And I think that's why this is so good. We've got more of the village parallels. We've got more of her working out and making little comments about why this may have happened or why she thinks it could be this person or whatever. Again, it's a 3-hour read, but they're brilliant. And you sit there and you take up all the facts. A platinum blonde in my library? I mean, why would you have a platinum blonde in the library? And it's just fantastic. It does have the family in it. I know, I say I don't like family with one thing, and then all books have got family in them, haven't they? But this is, you also see how things affect people in a family. But this is really good. You really need to follow the clues as to who did it and why. I like that. Then we get to another DNF. This one, though, I will come back to, but I've just got a bit fed up with the narrator's voice. Because this is Three Sisters, Three Queens by Philippa Gregory. And Philippa Gregory, I love her writing. Her research is faultless. She brings history alive. She particularly focuses in the Tudor period, which is my favourite period. Well, I think it's most school kids' favourite period. I mean, Henry VIII has got 6 wives, for heaven's sakes. What doesn't make it exciting? But this isn't about his wives. This is about 2 of his sisters and 1 of his wives. So we have Catherine of Aragon, first wife of Henry VIII, his elder sister Margaret and his younger sister Mary. Catherine of Aragon becomes Queen of England through her marriage to Henry. Margaret becomes Queen of Scotland. She gets married off up to James IV. And Mary goes over to be Queen of France. So these 3 sisters, stroke sister-in-law, are also 3 queens. And it's all comes through Mary's point of view. Margaret's point of view. And this is where I have the issue, because I can't stand her. And I have to keep reminding myself, it starts in 1501, which is when Catherine of Aragon came over to England to marry Henry's elder brother Arthur, who subsequently died. And she's very young. And when she's going up to Scotland, she's 13, 14 years of age. And I have to keep reminding myself that at that point she is young and I shouldn't be. Of course she's going to be a spoilt little brat, really. She's been brought up, I'm a Tudor princess. I have this, right, I have this. People should behave like this to me. And so she does come across, as I say, as very spoiled, and she just annoys the hell out of me. So I've got to page 188, and I'm now in winter 1514. And I've had to put it down just because I can't stand her attitude. Driving me mad. So, but I will come back to it because I just need a break from her voice. That's what it is. It's just that she's annoying me. I think maybe if it had been told from Catherine of Aragon's perspective, I might have been a little more on board with it. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, what was I going to say? I was going to say something about Margaret then. Oh, in the author's notes, Philippa Gregory says, I mean, this is always the issue in history. I bet even now it's still going to be a bit more of an issue than we think, is that women aren't really written about, and they certainly weren't then. Even though these are three queens, we don't know about their life per se. You know, she's the wife, she's the daughter of a king, she's the sister of a king, she's the wife of a king, she's the mother of a king. And still we know next to nothing about Margaret. So, you know, Philippa Gregory does say in the back that there's not a lot to find about her. So obviously she has to give her that voice, and I just wish I hadn't given her that voice. But as I say, so that's 2 DNFs to be continued. Though I think I'm going to give 3 Sisters, 3 Queens to my mother first. And when it comes back, then I'll read it. Carry on with it. And then, a bit of a throwback to childhood. I was listening to a Radio 4 podcast. Well, I listened to several actually last week. And this one was about Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Another book, I don't like the cover. But yes, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Because obviously they're really quite short. They're stories, not a novel, not even a novella really. The whole thing only comes up with notes, only comes up to 288 pages, so it's light. But what fun! Oh my goodness. Forgotten just how good these are. You've got... So we start with Alice in Wonderland. As I can't be bothered to give it the full name. And you know it's a dream. And it is just how dreams go. And it's brilliant. It's just fantastic. Yes, things change. Yes, suddenly you're too big, too small. Who the heck's this character that's just appeared out of nowhere? Why is a cat talking to me? What are they doing to the dormouse? Why are they eating tea and their watch has stopped? Why is the Queen yelling off with her heads the whole time? It's just like a dream. It is so brilliantly done. And with so many memorable characters, you can understand why this has been turned into so many films, TV series, cartoons, whatever the heck they've done with it. It had just about everything done to it. But it's so good. And it's fun. And that's what I really liked. So we've got my favourite bit for Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is the Mock Turtle. The Mock Turtle story. And I love that bit because it's got all of the wordplay in it. So there are lots of homophones in here. Homophone being words that sound like each other but mean different things. And we've got here, so the Mock Turtle is saying, when we were little, the Mock Turtle went on at last, more calmly, though still sobbing a little now and then, we went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We used to call him Tortoise. Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one? Alice asked. We called him Tortoise because he taught us, said the Mock Turtle angrily. Really, you are very dull. It's brilliant. And so we have Tortoise and Porpoise and Purpose, and lesson as in a class, and lesson as in reduce. Soles and eels for soles and heels on shoes. They're just brilliant. And then we have when he's carrying on talking about his classes, and the Mock Turtle says, I could only take the regular course at school. And so Alice says, what was that? Reeling and writhing, of course, to begin with, the Mock Turtle replied. Oops, I've got to get rid of my sticky note. And then the different branches of arithmetic: ambition, distraction, uglification and derision. I've never heard of uglification, Alice ventured to say. What is it? So history becomes mystery. Geography becomes seography, because obviously they're in the water. Drawing becomes drawling. So they do drawling, stretching and fainting in coils for their drawing, sketching and painting in oils. They also learnt laughing and grief, Latin and Greek. It's just so funny. And yeah, brilliant. Took me back to my childhood. It also, and I have to say, it's just like my dream last night. Well, not entirely, obviously, but the wordplay thing. Last night, there's a bit of a off to the side as usual. Last night, in my dream, I had two words, but I've forgotten what the second word was because my mind just focused on one. Two words that came into my head, and I spent the whole of my night's dreaming trying to come up with an anagram to fit into a crossword clue where the answer was deceitful. So all night, I did not have a very good night's sleep. I kept waking up and I was like, I think I've got it. I can have fluid etc. I was like, no, I can't. I'm missing an E. Go back to sleep. I kept waking up trying to find an anagram using the letters from deceitful. Anyway, so that's what happens in your dreams. Words get turned and things don't become... They're taken out of context and they're twisted and they become surreal, and yeah, it's exactly like that. And then through the looking glass, well, my favourite bit, you've got Tweedledee and Tweedledum are always looking for a fight. You've got Humpty Dumpty. And my favourite bit, which is a bit sad for the oysters, is the walrus and the carpenter. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings, on why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. And all of those rhymes that you've had little clips of, maybe if you didn't remember the whole of them, I can't remember the whole of the walrus and the carpenter, but I always remember that particular verse. But there are little ones like from Alice in Wonderland. There's the Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole the tarts and took them quite away. You just know all these things. That's because this is a seminal work from most people's childhoods, well, particularly from mine in the 1970s, let's put it that way. So that was finished, that was read very quickly, sort of early afternoon read the first bit, evening read through the looking glass and just thought, it's brilliant. Now I want to have a rabbit with a pocket watch to plonk somewhere on my bookcases. So I need a white rabbit with a pocket watch, people. Let me know where one is. So that was it. As I say, only 5 books, 3 that I really enjoyed and 2 that are stuck. But there we go. Such is life. Anyway, typically the camera stopped 2 seconds as I was into me saying goodbye. So now you might be at a slightly different and wonky angle. Looks wonky. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me. Only 5 books to talk about, but I'm already making far more inroads in May, and hopefully I will have finished Patrick Gale's Notes from an Exhibition by the end of the month. And I'll have enjoyed it. Let's hope. Let's hope. In the meantime, happy reading, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!